Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Peggy with Sweet Tea Makery. I'm so glad you joined me today. So today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to make these Christmas card keepers. Okay, so they're very simple and easy to make. They don't take long, and they're the perfect gift. Tilt you down just a little bit. Perfect gift for family, friends, co-workers, and they're even fun to make and take for make and takes if you do that sort of thing, or craft fairs, or put in your shops. They are simple to make. They don't take very much ribbon. You can use scraps if you have it. It's just so simple, but a lovely gift. So what I do when I make them for as gifts, and I do sell them sometimes, but predominantly as gift. I always make the first card on the ring a card from me, from our family, to the recipient, and then they get a nice gift. And I even have taken these to parties and given them as a hostess gift. You can give them as gifts to your attendees, to your parties. They're just so much fun. And I really love doing make and takes because they're so simple, and you can just, have fun with your family or friends that you invite over. So before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and that's going to notify you the next time I upload a new tutorial and some of these neat craft projects. So I'm going to show you some of the things that you need. I'm going to tilt you down actually so you can see some of the things you're going to need to complete the Christmas card keeper. So, excuse me, pardon me y'all. You're going to need some scissors, a glue gun, and of course ribbons of your choice. I'm just going to use this one today. I like to use at least 3 ribbons. You can certainly use more if you choose, but I like to use 3. And you can use any width of ribbon. You can use all 2.5-inch ribbon. You can use all of the 1.5-inch ribbon, and or a mix of the two. And predominantly I use wired ribbon, but for this particular one, I'm going to show you how to use unwired ribbon. I like to use that on certain projects. I think it just gives it a different kind of look, and it's your preference. You don't have to use unwired ribbon. This is another one of unwired ribbon as well. And again, the ribbon choices are all what you want to use. You can use them something that matches your own home decor. You can use something that matches your friends' decor if you know them that well. It just all depends on what you want to, how you want to do that. So the next things you want to do, if you want to embellish it, is just find some items to embellish it. I have this snowflake, I have a smaller bell, I have this adorable Christmas ornament. It doesn't matter the size. It's just whatever you think is going to look cute. You can even add some greenery to them if you choose. It just depends on what you like. So as you see, you can add this to it, and it changes the look. It just depends on what you have on hand and what you want to use. Again, more bells, different colors, all kinds of things. So the most important thing that you're going to need are the rings to create the keepers. So we'll talk about these a little bit more in just a moment. You can use some yarn. You don't have to. These are just items that I think you need to have kind of on hand as you make them. You can use some of this floral wire, pipe cleaners, whatever you have on hand. And those are mostly to tie on the bow, to have the bow tied, and then also to tie it to your rings. So if you do not like the look of those wider ribbons, you can also make a scrappy bow and place that on one as well. And you can certainly embellish it just like that, and use that if you would rather do something smaller. After we make the larger bows, I will show you how to make one of these scrappy bows if you choose to make that. This is probably one of the easiest bows to make. There's actually another one that I love to do, and I'll show that in another tutorial. So we're just going to scoot some of this out of the way for now. And I haven't decided yet if I want to use the smaller ring or the larger ring. But let's talk about the rings. So these are what they call book binder rings. They're made for loose leaf pages of a book, or just pages that don't have an actual binder cover for them. And so what they do is they have a clasp, and they open and close. Very simple to make, to open. And this is the little bit larger one, and this is about as far as they open, and that's all you really need. And they stay nice and secure once you close them. So I want to just tell you, this is a 2-inch, by the way, so just so you know, a 2-inch. They make a 3-inch, and then this one's a little bit bigger. These are some that I had on hand from last year. They were 4-inch. But you can actually make 3 sizes. But the 2-inch is what the sample one I showed you is using. And really, honestly, you could get a lot of cards on the 2-inch. And these are much easier to find. And they are less expensive. Less expensive to make. So, so there are 2 ways you can make these and attach the bows. Today, I'm just going to do the real simple one. But you can get a little more detailed if you choose to. And I'll talk about that, I think, later as we finish this project. So I'm going to use this ribbon here. I'm going to start off with the red truck. I just thought it was really cute. And pardon the lots of noise. Your ribbon choices, it's just up to you. You can certainly do all kinds of things. You can do, see, this would look lovely if you wanted to do that. If you just, depends on what you have or what you can find. Okay, so we're going to trim this ribbon here after me. And it doesn't matter where you cut it. Now, I like to dovetail my ribbons, so I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this one. And this is how you dovetail. You want the wire side. Oops, didn't cut that all that great. Sorry. You want the wire tied part up to make the dovetail. Okay. And your ribbon size just depends on what you want. What you choose to do. If you want to make a larger bow, you can. That's your choice. So I have a little measuring tape here. So I'm going to give it, because I want the tails to kind of come down and just kind of give it a little bit of cuteness to it. I don't, for a lack of better words, but I'm sorry. So I'm probably going to let the tail be, I think I will start out at 10 inches because you can always trim that. So since this has a printed pattern and words to it, What you can do is take and pinch this here. This is how I make some of my hand-tied bows, okay? We need to get just a little bit extra here. So we're gonna make that first loop, and I think I'm gonna make, let's see, I think I'm gonna make it, if I can use that. All right, a 6-inch. Let's do a 6-inch. So what we're going to do is, because we want this all going in the same direction, okay? We can put this here in our hands, and we're not going to twist it on the bottom. Generally, when I make hand-make bows, I twist them. But because it has the writing, we don't want to do that, okay? We just want to come over, and again, we're going to measure out 6 inches. Let's see, about a 6-inch loop, and we're just going to place it on top. And I might, let's see, yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll work. And so we're going to hold that in our hand. Now, if you have a Bodabra, and we'll measure out how much we want. If you have a Bodabra, then you can hold them in place and do it that way. But I just hold mine in my hand. So we need to make sure we're doing the right size. I'm going to do that the right size, and I am going to cut it about here. And we can come back and dovetail these in just a little bit. Okay, so now we have our ribbons going in the same direction, okay? That's because this one has that writing on it. So the next ribbon I'm going to use is my red buffalo check. I'm sorry, black and white buffalo check. And again, we've done 10 inches. So we're going to take and pinch that one. Okay. And this is just some scrap ribbon I had, okay? So, and I've done this for a very long time, so I know usually I can guess, yeah, okay. So I usually come in just a little bit, say maybe a 5-inch, because I want to layer it up and give it some dimension. So if you have a 6-inch loop here and say a 5-inch, and then we'll go just a little smaller, it'll give the bow a little bit of dimension. And so this ribbon, since it doesn't have any writing, I can twist it. And we'll come back and we'll measure these to see if they match. They do. We'll twist it. And again, I'm going to use about a 10-inch. We can cut this as we, you know, it doesn't have to be super neat. And we're going to insert that on top of this one. Okay, and again, we can do some adjusting once we finish. So for my last ribbon, I'm going to use this unwired ribbon. And we'll pinch it up, and again, we'll come back and fix the dovetails. And again, it doesn't have a print, but we're going to do it the same exact way that we did the other ribbons, okay? We're just going to come in. I want to do a smaller one. And it's just going to give you a relaxed loop when it's done. But this is, you know, again, you can use a wired ribbon here. It doesn't matter. I twist that one myself again. And just want to make sure. And I've gone to probably about a 4-inch here. Again, the smaller, when you layer them, just gives it much more dimension. Okay? And we're going to cut it, and we'll trim it up here in just a little bit. Put that out of the way, and then we're going to just take that and layer it up. And again, we'll twist this and fluff it a little bit. And it just gives it a different look. If you prefer the wired ones, that's fine. Now, you can use floral wire. This is the 20 gauge floral wire. A lot of times when I'm making a bow that has wireless ribbon, a lot of times I will use the first ribbon. I'm sorry, the first wire to make to tighten the bow, and it just gives it a much quicker, tighter hold, and especially when you're using a wireless one. So we're going to come over through the thumb. I always run it through this finger here. I come around, so you can see, I just come around through the middle, and I just squinch it. And again, we're going to fluff it in just a minute. And I just squinch it together. And we'll twist. And then we can fluff. Okay? And we don't really need to twist it that much because, again, we want sort of a layered look to it. But we do want to pull all the tails forward to one direction, okay? We're just going to do this one. And we'll cut these once we get it to the way that we like it. Okay? And, oops, went in there. And again, we're going to pull those tails in one direction. There we go. Where they're all, and some of them may be longer than the other. That's fine. We can always fix that. Actually, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was pulling it in the wrong direction because we want our wording to show. Okay, sorry about that. Not a perfect world, thank goodness that we're perfectly imperfect. Okay, so again, we want to pull these tails down all in the same direction, okay? I'm just going to come and pull that one. And we're going to see that for just a minute. We'll fix that. I'm just going to pull them all in, and we'll come back and trim all this once we've got it done. And it's still a little loose, which is fine, because we can always come back, pull it over to the side, and I like to use my needle nose to just pull and twist this wire to keep it together. And you can use a pipe cleaner. On the first one, I did use a pipe cleaner. And we'll just trim this off just a tad. Okay. And then again, this is super simple, super easy. All right, so I've got that bow. That's fine. I'm wanting to, let's see, I wanted to add, actually, maybe add this in here. This little red truck ornament. And so I think because this ornament is a little larger than, say, using one like this, or using a smaller white bell, which would be adorable as well, I'm going to go with the larger ring. Now, the plus about the larger rings is that generally you can put them over a doorknob as well. So if you want to hang your Christmas cards on a doorknob in your home, then that works easily. But let's try, since we used the first one was a smaller one, we're going to use the larger one. So if this was a pipe cleaner, you would do the exact same process. This is wire, so we're going to go through that ring, and all we're going to do is twist that wire around the ring, okay? And again, this is a simple one. And you can get a little bit more technical if you choose. Onto this, sorry. Then we're just going to twist it around. And you just get it around and around until you finish it off. And so, you know, most of the time you won't see that, but if it bothers you, you can take a pipe cleaner and go back around it again. So here's the part I'm going to tell you. So this is the simple and easy way to do it, okay? If you were selling that in your shop, you know, it does slide. That's fine. It's no big deal. If you were selling it in your shop, what I would do is I would hot glue, before putting the bow on, I would hot glue and wrap it with some twine. And I'd start from here. This is the part that opens. This is the hinge. And I would start maybe about here because you don't want to bind your hinge. And I would just wrap it maybe about this far in with twine. And use hot glue to stabilize it, keep it adhered to the surface. Let it dry, and then if you attach your wire with your bow onto the area that's had twine on it, it'll be stable and it won't slide. But for today's tutorial, we're just going to do this simple and quick and easy way. So once you've got that done, you can go back now and start doing your dovetails. And you don't have to do dovetails. You can leave them plain. You don't have to, dovetail it. You can just let them cut off straight. You can, if you want to, if it's wired, you can curl them up. I just am doing it this way today. And again, this is unwired ribbon. I just like the look of it sometimes. I just think it just kind of gives it a little something. And the thing is, you can just cut it off if you want to change the ribbon next year, or the person's changed their decor, in their home. It's something that, and they have the ring. It just depends. And I keep turning that in the wrong direction. I don't know why. I'm having a hard time with that. So, anyway. I just don't know why I'm doing that. So, I guess because the camera, y'all, is backwards. So it's making me look at it backwards. Anyway, you've got the idea of how this looks. So, and it's attached to the ring. Here we go. Just get it turned. And I just want to finish up dovetailing these others. And you can leave your tails whatever length you want, whatever length that you think looks good. We'll add the embellishment in just a moment. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, cannot talk today. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. And just remember, there's happy mistakes. If I mess up, I just start back over. It's pretty simple. And we've got this one. That one still looks fine. Yeah, okay. So again, we've used a non-wire ribbon here. And if there's all kinds of ways you can finish this off. If you're okay with the way it looks like that, go for it. If you want it to have a little bit of a finished look, you can put the pipe cleaner on it and leave it at that way as well. You can add, again, this actually is a cute little snowflake ornament. You can hot glue it, or it has a little loop up in there, and you can wire that and tie it in. Again, there's so many different little ways to embellish it. So, you can trim some of that off and then just put that in there, and see you've got a really cute little floral one, which I love this too. And then you would just wire that onto it. But it's that simple to make these. The next step is, again, you can just sell these. You can use yarn, different kinds of yarns. I got this cute little red truck, and let's go ahead and put that on. Now, again, as simple as you want it to be, you can let this just be a part of the, let them keep it as an ornament instead of cutting it. And you just slide it right on, and it can be a part, of the ring itself, or you can wire it on. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And again, you can cut this off somewhat. I don't really want to do that. Find my other little piece of wire. Is that wire or greenery? That's greenery. Hey, we'll just use this. How about that? Okay, so we could just come up through the hook, and let's just make sure we're going in the right direction. Okay, and you can give that a little twist if you want. We can go through the center of the bow, okay? Come back through here, and, I think it looks cute. You don't have to get super technical, about it. And we'll just come back through. And there's lots of ways that you can finish it off. I'll trim that off in just a little bit. So now you've got your cute little ornament onto it. If you choose to embellish it that much, the ribbons look just fine. To me, I like, well, I don't know, let's see. Look at it that way. I could maybe shorten it a little bit. Yeah. I've gone the wrong way on that one. So I'm going to trim this one a little bit more because I think it just needs it a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. All right, that looks a little better. And what's really cute when you have a bell, they ring, and they're just fun. It's just a fun way to do that. And we'll bring this one back up to the front. So again, it's how elaborate you want to make it. So what you would then do is take your card, we'll just take one here, and your hole punch, and either one that you've made to give as a gift, or one that you've received. If you've been blessed and to receive some nice cards, you can then just slide it on there. And I'm going to grab these other ones so that we can just show you since they're already on there. Just take that off for a moment and slide these on there. So each time you get a card, you can just slide it on to the ring, just like that. And then you've got a cute little ornament, and I'll show you. So, and these are going to be looked at, that's the whole purpose, is to keep it in a cute little way and to put on your coffee table for folks to look at. You can hang them from your stocking hanger, or that's on your mantle, or even take some of the greenery and create a hook if you have some greenery along your mantle, and hang it from there, hang them from the doors, anywhere that you want to hang it. This would be cute on a kitchen wall. You could use a command hook and put it on your kitchen wall. and just hang them from there. I mean, so many ideas to use these. Of course, I would unless you're going to tie this somewhere else, you may even tie it to a lantern. I don't know. That might be kind of cute. It's whatever you choose to do. So here's the one I made with the actual all wired ribbon, and I'm going to go back and embellish it with a little snowflake a little later. You can hang larger bells if you want. You can, anything you want to do. This is the two that I made. This is the larger ring one, so you kind of get a feel for it. And this is the smaller ring one. And both of them work just as well. It's just that these are a little bit harder to find, the larger ones, and you get less for your money, but they're still not that expensive to make. And you can use your greenery. You can also use something like this. If it was in the red, you have a red, and this is a green. You could use that to tie around it and twist around your ring. Anything that you can use to wire the bow to the rings. And again, you can use it in all kinds of ways and all color schemes. It doesn't have to be limited to the buffalo check. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm just going to quickly show you if you choose to do a scrappy bow as your item for your ring. So I think, let's see, do I want to use that? Yeah, we can do that. So this would be more sort of like a tone on tone of all white and black buffalo check. And I'm going to untwist this right now. I had to use this for another project, but we'll just use it for this purpose this evening. Okay, so I'll use the smaller ring on this one, okay? So what I did was I cut some ribbon scraps to 8-inch length, 8-inch lengths. And I had you make 2 of each of the ribbons that you choose to use. So these are the ones that I've chosen. You can do all the same, again, all the same size, whatever you choose to do. So these are scrappy bows that I used to make. Gosh, y'all, I'm young, but I mean, when I was young, they're almost like the little hair bows, but they're just scrappy bows. They've been around for years. And I'm gonna take this rip-rack and do the same thing. You can use any scraps of fabric and ribbons that you so choose, but you just layer it up in an X, just like that. You can take some twine and put around it. I just find the twine, I will use twine if for the project, if that's the project that I want to do, but it's just more cumbersome for me to try to take all this and flip it over and then try to tie a knot. But you can certainly do it that way if that's the look you want. For me personally, it's easier just to take a pipe cleaner and just squinch this up like this, come around, or floral wire, you can tell I'm Southern, floral wire, and just twist it. And then you, of course, would just then fluff it out, and however that you like it, however fluffy you like it. And then again, you take your ring, and then you would just wire this on. I'll open that up just a tad, just to show you. You could also come back with a wire. I'm not going to do it now, but I think you have the idea. But you can come back with a wider, you know, ribbon, coordinating ribbon, and then you just take and wire it on. And that's how simple it is. You can, again, take some twine and put a bead of glue here and wrap your twine around it. Might be easier if you open it when you're doing that, and just to kind of get the twine easier to go around. And then you can then glue your wrap your bow. I cannot talk again today. Your bow around it, and voila, you've gotten a cute little, and you can embellish this one as well. And then you have a scrappy bow one that works just as cute as the other bows. So those are certainly two cute little bows that you can make. And I know this video actually is taking a little longer, but when you actually sit down to make these, they really go really quick. And get this going. And you know, even if some of your tails are a little longer than the other, it just adds to the look of it. And it's just made to be a pretty way to hold the cards that you're given, or as a gift to another person as the recipient. It's a nice way to keep to give as a gift and receive as a gift, and to keep your cards that you're blessed with. So thank you for watching me. I hope that you have a blessed evening. I hope that I have inspired you in some way to make some cute gift-giving ideas for this holiday season. And again, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell, because then that sends you a message the next time I either go live, which I hope to do soon, or when I upload a new tutorial. So that's what's going to notify you. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments down here. I'd be glad to come back in and take a look and see if I can help answer them as best as I can. And I've enjoyed crafting with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day as well, and happy crafting. Bye.